Arsenal have shocked Pep Guardiola. Look, the proof is out there. But that's not even the thing that surprised me the most. People like Gary Neville are coming out and blatantly lying, contradicting themselves when it comes to this Arsenal team. Because he slates Mikel Arteta for playing a certain way over the past 2 seasons. Then in the very next sentence, praises Pep Guardiola for doing the exact same thing. Look, I know there's frustration in the Arsenal fan base. I would have liked the win as well. But the reality is there are games that you have to win and lose and draw in a season. If you go back to when the Premier League started, since the Premier League started, teams have always drawn. Teams have always lost except one, and I don't need to remind you who that is. So going into a season, you understand you will have draws. And if you had to pick a team to draw against in this Premier League, you would pick City as one of them. Say if you had to pick 4 or 5 teams. Because if you go back, like I said, since the Premier League started, all of the winners draw at least 4 or 5 games. So you know it's coming. It's not inevitable. You can't escape this. So there will be games that you're going to draw. And drawing against Man City is not the end of the world. I'm seeing a massive overreaction. Again, I'm not being defeatist. I'm not saying I didn't want Arsenal to win this game, or even I expected or think Arsenal could have won this game. People say you're just backing Arteta blindly. Go back and watch yesterday's video. I blatantly said he made some mistakes, but just because I approach it in a rational way, people don't like that. All they see is, I hate the manager. He's no good. He drew against Man City. And I'm just like, well, that's not the facts though, is it? If you didn't want Trossard to start, I agree with you. I've even said that. If you didn't want Mikel Merino to start, okay, you would have gone with a different guy. Mikel Arteta made a mistake in that moment, but guess what? He admitted his mistake by subbing him off at half-time. He tried something, it didn't work. If Mikel Merino scores a goal in that first half, all of a sudden he's a genius. And this is the fine lines in football. But what I'm finding most incredible is people like Gary Neville coming out and like I said, lying, contradicting themselves. I don't understand it. There's also something I want to touch on after as well. But let me speak about Gary Neville. Because what he come out and said, I was genuinely like, what are you talking about? He said, Arsenal are a one-trick pony. That was the first thing he said. And then it's like, well, we're not. Because basically all he was saying is Arsenal only score set pieces. Arsenal are boring. Arsenal only score set pieces. Arsenal didn't score a set piece. It was a lovely goal, an exquisite goal, a ball from Eza in the centre of that pitch that put it on a plate for Gabriel Martinelli, a player who's just coming back into form, and he chipped. How tall's Donnarumma? 6'8", 6'5"? I don't know. A huge keeper, an experienced keeper, one of the best keepers in the world. He chipped him. So how are Arsenal a one-trick pony? Talking nonsense. And again, he said he enjoyed what Pep Guardiola did. He liked that Pep Guardiola was playing 5 at the back. And I'm thinking, but you've been talking about Arteta playing 5 at the back, or being very defensive. Maybe not 5 at the back, but very defensive. Arsenal are too defensive. Arsenal were boring. No one enjoys watching Arsenal play. But because Pep Guardiola did it, the king of football, it's kind of like, oh, this is new. And it's like, well, you do know who he's copying, right? Because you even said the sentence out of your own mouth. He's out-Arsenaling Arsenal. So he's copying Mikel Arteta, and you're saying you love it. But when Mikel Arteta does it, the guy who made it up, who invented it, he don't get the credit. He gets slated. He gets called boring. He gets called conservative, not brave enough. But when Pep Guardiola does it, it's magic. Oh my God, he's reinvented the wheel. He's starting to play differently. He's playing 5 centre-backs. What, something Mikel Arteta's been doing for 3 seasons? No, don't talk about that. Pep Guardiola likes doing long throw-ins and playing aerially. Mikel Arteta's done it for 3 seasons. No, stop making sense. Pep Guardiola is putting 7 players, defensive players, 6'5", behind the ball. Arteta's been doing this, and he's constantly being ridiculed, constantly being made to look the clown for bringing something new to English football. And now, the greatest manager in world football is copying his tactics, and silence. In fact, not even silence, praise. How does it make sense? Again, I have to reiterate, I would have done things differently in that game, but this constant overreaction and blaming the manager is something I can't get behind. I want my team to do well. I want the manager to do well. I like what the manager does. Again, he made a mistake yesterday. He admitted it. He changed it at half-time. The Trossard decision, I didn't understand. I think it's in agreement by most people in my comment section that they expected Martinelli or Eza to start, because those are the 2 form guys. The only way I can try and rationalise it is if Mikel Arteta's thinking, right, we've tried Eza on the left, and his performances, although there's still something different, they're not quite at the high level that I think he can produce in the middle of the park. And again, he didn't start him in the middle of the park, and he went with Merino as that option. He got it wrong, and he put Eza in the centre at half-time. Again, so maybe now going forward, we don't see Eza as the left winger. And if he don't, then I kind of understand his decision to play Trossard more, because then it's a straight shootout. Is it Trossard or is it Martinelli? I think most of us would be in agreement that it's probably Gabriel Martinelli. But again, he's only been good for a couple of games. So when you actually sit down and try and break down why Arteta used Trossard in this position, you can come up with an answer. You have to search around a bit for it, but if going forward, Eza isn't preferred in that left wing position and he's only used centrally, well then there's your answer. Eza tried at left wing, and although he looked dangerous in moments, he didn't quite have what Mikel Arteta wanted. So now if we go back to Trossard and Martinelli, fine. And my opinion is Martinelli should be the left winger going forward until his performances dip to the point where they were last season, and then you swap him out, and then you have to try Eza in that position. Or by that time, you may even have Madueke back, and he can be that penetrative player on that left-hand side. Like I said, there are reasons why Arteta makes these decisions. Again, it might not be something that I agree with or you agree with, but why are people constantly shouting at this manager? Why is this fan base so toxic all the time? And I hate to speak about it, but it's something so blatant that the media does, rival fans and Arsenal fans do constantly. And I'm like, is every other fan base like this, or is it just Arsenal? Like, we got a point against Man City. Again, I have to tell you, that's not the worst result in the world. Again, I would have wanted the win. If we tried a different creative midfield in the first half, maybe things would have gone different. Or maybe we would have got overrun by Man City. We don't know because we didn't see it. In the second half, when Eza come on, he played well. He wasn't a phenom, by the way. He wasn't, oh my God, unbelievably good. He got dispossessed a couple of times, but he made the crucial pass. So you have to give him his props. Still think he's adjusting to this Arsenal team. I think the improvement will continue over the following weeks and months. Going forward, I would like to see Eza in that position because he produced a moment, and that's something we've been lacking in this Arsenal team without the likes of Bukayo Saka. We need players who take initiative, make a moment. Eza done it. Martinelli's done it recently. Trossard did score recently, but he hasn't really been at the level in terms of taking on his man, direct, making an impact. Like I said, we spoke about the Trossard decision. We've got more pressing matters now. We can't just keep bashing this team and the manager and saying they're not good enough because nothing's going to change. This manager doesn't deserve the sack, and that is the end of the world. I won't hear it any other way. We've got a massive game against Newcastle coming up. Let's start having some actual serious discussions about some team news. What can we do on the right-hand side now Saka's back? Where does that leave Madueke? There's so many sensible conversations as an Arsenal fan we can have, and I'm happy to have. We will, of course, I will be doing more videos in the lead up to the Newcastle game because there are still so many conversations that we can have. There's conversations about the back line, the midfield, the forward areas, the wings. Every single position on this team is almost a talking point. Victor Gyökeres, he's not firing as much as people would like. Why? We can discuss that. Eze on the left, Madueke on the left, Bukayo Saka's back now. What does that mean for these other wingers? Let's talk about it. Zubimendi, is his performances as good as most people like, or do we need to slot Declan Rice back? Again, these are conversations we will have. I just wanted to, speak about this constant overreaction towards Arteta. And I know people only do it to get clicks, but it's actually it rubs off on the Arsenal fan base. And I'm listening to people's opinion and I'm like, you're just spouting the same nonsense that these content creators are putting out. And it's madness. Let me know your thoughts on everything you've heard in this video. Was you surprised at Mikel Arteta's tactics? Can you kind of understand it? What's your thoughts on the Newcastle game? Like I said, we got big videos coming up. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could do me a quick favour, just hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.